Today I'm going to show you how to find your dream man in 2025. Number 1.
Where are the men that actually make the first move and they actually want to take you out on a nice date?
Why is it that guys are so hard to get up, like come up to you, like in the gym or in a bar? Like, why are they just...
If you want me, you're going to have to come and get me.
Many women have already missed their chances at a great man. Now they're paying the price in dating.
Men, when you want to speak to a female, it is a kind gesture. Maybe you could open the door.
In 2025, and I'm so serious, can we leave situationships behind?
Many men are intimidated by their success.
Give it a rest, will you? Men aren't intimidated by women's success. They tell themselves that. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you. A woman on TikTok filed a copyright strike against me, even though it falls under the Fair Use Act, and YouTube gave me no other option but to delete the video. And what's crazy about that is the fact that she's stitching other people's videos, giving her opinion, but don't like when others have their own opinion. Amazing, huh? Truly hypocritical. This is the re-upload.
All right, dating intentions for 2025, not catching feelings for any boys that are gonna break my heart. I can't take it. I don't want it. No, not doing it. So if anybody sees me doing this, please get in your car immediately. Run me the over.
Little PSA, back in the dating world, maybe not for long. When the woman stops at the door for you to open it, maybe don't walk through it first and let the door hit her more than once. Thanks.
No! Where are the girls that are just super laid back and chill and not extremely high maintenance?
Where are the men that actually brush their teeth in the morning? Brush their teeth at all? Where are the men that take showers, brush their hair, shave regularly? Where are the men that are educated and employed? Where are the men that actually make the first move and they actually want to take you out on a nice date? Where are the men that don't stand up girls on dates? Where are the men that actually pay for the first date? Where did they go?
I like how that guy asked a very simple question, and instead of giving a straightforward answer, she immediately started projecting her bad experiences with the men she's dated. It's almost like she's deflecting from the real issue by blaming the entire gender for her own choices. A lot could be said here, but where are the women who actually know how to reciprocate? Because reciprocation is incredibly important to the kind of men these women are constantly asking about. These men aren't just looking for someone who will sit back and receive. They want a partner who can match their energy, their efforts, and their intentions. These women can't find where these men are because they don't want to be found.
I'm single, 33, live in California, and 2025 is the year that I'm finding my husband. This is how you are going to meet your man organically. You're going to take work and you have to treat it like a job. Stop looking disheveled and you're going to dress your best. Glam up when you leave the house. You are going to go to places where your husband is hanging out. Go have lunch at the golf club. Go to the restaurant, sit at the bar by yourself. Go to church. Go to a 5-star hotel lobby. Look up conferences where high-value men attend. If you continue sitting at home, you're never going to meet your husband. Video on what outfits to wear is coming up.
I don't know what gorgeous girl needs to hear this, but a text back is not effort, it's the bare minimum. And the reason that you're okay accepting the bare minimum is because when you have been starved for so long, breadcrumbs feels like a feast. The bar for men is in hell, and you deserve so much better. I love you.
Dating in New York is really, really bad right now. Like, look, I look sexy as fuck, sexy AF, and not a single soul has looked in my way, in my direction, my directional pattern, like, way. Body check. And, like, if I knew no one was gonna stare at me or, like, give me at least a compliment, like, I would have just worked out at home. Like, there's no need for me to be in a sports bra and nobody's asking me out on a date or, like, to leave my house with me. Like, I can't. Also, like, yeah, I'm not an emirata type bitch, like, feminist type bitch. Like, there's a reason I'm wearing a tiny sports bra. There's always a reason. Like, look at me, please. Someone look at me. Smile at me. Something. Someone make me feel alive. I'm walking more uptown, so I put my sweatshirt back on because, like, the window of opportunity is closed.
What she's ultimately seeking is validation from men, which is why she chose to dress in a way that sexualizes herself by wearing a sports bra. She clearly hoped it would make her the center of attention, but instead, she was left utterly disappointed. Not a single man looked her way or even approached her. It's a classic example of how attempts to demand attention can completely backfire. The situation highlights a modern truth that continues to ring loud and clear. Don't sexualize women. They'll do it themselves. This woman exemplifies that perfectly. By putting herself on display, she intended to draw male eyes and elicit interest, but the reality didn't play out as she had imagined. Instead of receiving validation, she was met with indifference, which must have been a bitter pill to swallow. This behavior often ties into deeper insecurities or societal pressures that equate a woman's worth with how much attention she can garner from men.
And the one thing you better not be bringing into this new year is anything with a situation in front of it. No situationships in 2025, baby. We're done. They're done. They're in the past. We are bigger and better than those. You're too hot for that. Give it up.
I'm sorry, but I would literally rather be shot in the chest than be with a loser and have girls look at me with secondhand embarrassment. No thanks, I'm good.
Well, that was dramatic, but at least there is something to be said about the effect of hyperbole. But two things. Firstly, why would a person choose to be with someone that they obviously don't think that they should be with in the first place? But most importantly, aren't most of us well past the age of deciding who to be with based on who our friends approve of? I mean, seriously, if a person cannot decide if a person is good enough to be with them by themselves, then they probably shouldn't be dating in the first place.
I was on Hinge a few months ago and I went on a bunch of dates. I met some really nice people, but like nothing was like, mwah, chef's kiss, nothing. I deleted it like a month ago. I haven't been on any dating apps and I swear I'm going to meet somebody in person, right? But then like the loneliness sets in and I start to wonder, like, should I just download it again? But the last thing I want to do is download it and talk to guys out of boredom or loneliness. That's like the worst possible thing that you can do for your mental health. I have some friends who have amazing success stories, like they've met their husbands or wives on a dating app. But like most stories I hear are just like, ugh.
Wait a minute, madam. You've gone on many dates, met a few nice people, and yet you still can't find a man. It really makes you wonder. What kind of man are you actually looking for? This is the underlying problem that so many don't see. They'll claim that there are no good men left, but the truth is, they've likely crossed paths with several good men who just didn't fit into the idealized checklist they've created in their minds. The issue isn't a lack of option, it's a lack of the perfect that they want, which doesn't exist. This mindset also reflects a lack of self-awareness. Instead of appreciating the good qualities in the men they meet or focusing on building a connection, they focus on what's missing or what could be better. This endless pursuit of perfection leaves them perpetually unsatisfied. What's worse, when things don't work out, they often place the blame on men, rather than taking a step back to reflect on their own approach or expectations.
I have a question for men. I feel like a lot of men are no longer interested in dating. They give up on dating. They're not even trying. Why do you guys think that is the case?
Too much work and waste of money and time. Some women, all they want is money. Tired of being used. Tired of being used, cheated on and ghosted. So now we go to work and come home. Love to find my person, but tired of heartbreak. It's not dating, it's an interview. How much do you make? What can you give me?
Damn, now every time I go out with a man, he expects something out of me. Because of you females who just make it so accessible and easy to get. Yeah. So now every man out here just be feeling like they entitled. Only when they take you out to dinner or something, they always expect something back, which is very weird. I'm over it. I'm changing my type. I don't know what's going on in the dating pool, but this shit is basura. This shit is trash.
When did men stop tricking on women?
Tricking, is it? Oh, goody.
At what point did somebody sit you down and tell you that men are the prize?
Nobody had to sit them down, as it's become increasingly apparent that women, more often than not, seem to compete for men's attention, not the other way around. So, at the end, who's really the prize?
That men are supposed to get princess treatment.
What is princess treatment, after all, except being treated well in a relationship, appreciated, and shown only the best? Men aren't supposed to want that now?
Who sat you down and told you that it's lame to want to provide for a woman? It's lame to want to please her.
I see where this is going.
It's lame to want to marry a woman and pay bills in the household.
Well, seeing as how a lot of women have been treating men lately, why would they want to?
Who told you that? Like, was it your mom? Was it the pick-me that had you? Who was it? Like, you're literally a man. Like,
Tell me, who sees what they're doing?
some of you just need to go out and find you a husband, baby, because you don't want a wife. You want the soft life.
Well, that's certainly one way to try to manipulate men into being interested. Use shaming tactics in order to get them to be interested in dating or marriage. Let me know when that works.
The only thing this girl has managed to do is broadcast loud and clear that she doesn't have a man in her life. By the way she's speaking, it's obvious she's never had a proper man or been in a genuine, meaningful relationship. Her tone and perspective reveal more about her lack of experience than anything else. When you consider the number of men who've been burned by divorce, losing their assets, homes, and even access to their children, it's no wonder the traditional provider role means absolutely nothing to many of them anymore. Why would they put themselves in a position to sacrifice so much, only to risk losing everything they've worked for? For many men, the cost simply isn't worth the risk, especially when the respect and appreciation they once hoped to receive have been replaced by entitlement and disdain. Let's be real. Most women have made it abundantly clear that they don't need men in their lives, so men have left it at that.
Can someone explain to me how in the actual fuck am I supposed to meet somebody online and start dating them if I have to continuously keep paying for this fucking shit when nobody in 2025 can afford anything?
Hey, it's 2025. We're doing something different this year. Hear me out. Be a slut. Yeah. Be a slut. Like, have a bunch of boyfriends, have a bunch of girlfriends, whatever you want. Just tell them about each other. That way, nobody gets hurt. You're welcome.
You need help.
Happy New Year. If you want a man this year, listen to me, okay? This year, ladies, you're going to have to realign your pride, okay? You're going to have to do some chakra work. We're going to have to reset our brains because men do not approach women anymore. If you want a man this year, you're going to have to realign your values and understand that you have to go up to men now. And I'm talking about men like 26 plus, okay? And these days they do not go up to women. Why? At first it started as like this totally unhelpful faux feminist, like, I respect women, I'm not going to go up to women now. And we've seen that like faux feminism, that actually like masculine centered feminism come into play with like wanting to split the bill and not being chivalrous and things like that. And actually this not wanting to go up to women, the whole subculture of this faux feminism community or thought came from like gym culture, and then it just slowly diverted, and it comes from an over access to women.
Well, it's not just that. It's also the massive amount of women online telling men to stay away from them. They proudly say, "We don't need men. Men are useless, and men should leave us alone," then turn around and wonder why men aren't approaching them anymore. It's not that men have suddenly lost interest in women, it's that men have learned to listen. When women openly say they don't want men around, men simply adjust and give them exactly what they asked for. And most men are still very chivalrous. It's just not something they're willing to hand out to every woman just because she wants it. The modern dating scene has made one thing clear. Chivalry isn't dead, it's just reserved. The bottom line is, those gestures are earned. A man's respect, effort and care aren't automatic privileges. They're given to women who show they deserve them. Yet, so many modern women think they're entitled to traditional treatment while rejecting everything traditional about relationships. Amazing, huh?
So I just want to let everybody know that in 2025, I will be accepting boyfriend applications. Yes, very exciting. No uglies. No uglies, no uneducated, and I'm not playing. Anyways, DM me. Thank you. I'm so excited. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Since it's officially 2025, can we please leave situationships in the past? Because even if you do end up dating this person, just remember all the days you were strung along. Do you really think they're not gonna be like that in the relationship? You're settling for someone you had to chase and wouldn't give you the satisfaction until they finally felt it was right. Like, if you're acting like a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you're doing everything and they won't even give you that title, leave them. Let's stop situationships.
2025 is the year that we are finding our husbands. And by finding, I mean just opening up your eyes and realizing that there's men all around you at all times. All you need to do is smile. Go out to dinner by yourself. Go talk to your gym crush. Ask him if he could help you lift up a weight. Smile at people when you're out. Go join a workout class. Put yourself in environments where you have the opportunity to meet people. And when you are meeting people, have conversations. And when you like how that conversation is going and you can tell that it's starting to unfold in the way that maybe a little flirtation is happening, put yourself out there a little bit more. Maybe ask for an Instagram. If somebody is leading it to show you that they're interested, bite back. Because in 2025, we are not playing. Start smiling. Start smiling. Talking to your gym crush. Put yourself out there. Because we are not playing anymore.
What it sounds like to me is that in 2025, women will be taking the initiative and starting to approach men more. I can see this happening because there are plenty of women online, especially on TikTok, openly asking where the men are and where they can find them. This just goes to show that modern women need the illusion of endless options. But as soon as those options start disappearing, reality hits them hard. This shift proves that the power balance is changing. Men are no longer throwing themselves at women like before, and now women are the ones trying to adapt. I mean, it's a new year after all, and many of them are looking to settle down now for some reason, but they're struggling. Now, with fewer men actively pursuing relationships, women are realizing that finding a good man isn't as easy as swiping right. The confidence they once had, thinking they could settle down whenever they felt like it, is being replaced with anxiety.
You guys know that trend where the women or the girlfriends tell their man that they can't pay the mortgage? And then the men just laugh? Where do you find one of those guys? Because as far as I'm concerned, they don't exist. So I'm just wondering if there's a special place that you can find one that wants to take care of you. Because where I'm from, or the men that I know, they have female energy, like heavy female energy. I'm over here like doing community service for them. So I was just wondering like where they can be found. So if anyone can let me know, that would be great. Thank you.
This is something that guys have to watch out for. The woman that is traveling either alone or with her friends. I hate to break it to you, but you know what these women are doing? They're going on dating apps. They're having their fun on vacation and then they return back home to you as if nothing happened. They return back home to their boyfriends or their husbands as if nothing happened. So just be careful because this is becoming way more common than you think.
Also, am I the only one who is just like disgusted by men these days? Like, maybe it's just Hinge, because every time I scroll on Hinge, it makes me want to exit stage left of this fucking cruel world. I can only do like 2 swipes before I'm just like disgusted and I'm like, I cannot look at another pathetic face. Oh my god, that's so mean. Men are not pathetic. What is it? Is it just the men on Hinge? Is it the men everywhere? I feel like I'm giving up. I am giving up. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. If I wanted to have a boyfriend, I could easily have a boyfriend, because all you have to do is lower your fucking standards and settle for some crusty dusty ass dude. And that just can't be me. I can't be another statistic. I can't be another girl who's getting the life sucked out of her by some ain't shit ass fucking man just because she's emotionally attached and doesn't want to be alone.
It's always the women who wear the most graffiti. That seem to bash men the most. These are the same women who talk the loudest about how men ain't shit, while simultaneously complaining that no good men are approaching them. It's almost like they don't realize that the energy they put out is exactly what they attract. This woman in particular will be single for a long, long time. Her demeanor doesn't align with the type of man I think she's looking for. And a lot of women swipe on dating apps expecting to meet some kind of super chad. A tall, rich, good-looking guy with the perfect personality who will cater to them without question. They scroll past average, hard-working men like they don't exist, then complain when they can't find anyone. And here's the thing, women always act like they're the only ones lowering their standards to date, as if men don't do the exact same thing. In fact, men are constantly settling. The difference is, men live in reality. They adjust and move forward.
Okay, one for the girls in 2025. Like, how are we all going to be meeting people? Because I actually think the dating apps are like gonna die, and I really hope they are gonna die, because I honestly go on my dating apps now, and even if I've matched with people, I just have zero energy to speak to anyone on there. Like, it's pure chore, and I don't see it as like something fun or exciting anymore. It's just like bleh. And I rarely will actually like engage in a conversation now or even get on a date with someone. And I'm like, how are we meant to be meeting people? Because it's like, I do the run clubs, I go to the gym. Like, surely the apps are dead now. Like, surely something has got to change in 2025. I think we're all just too greedy as well. Like, we've been given so much choice with dating apps. Like, you could be dating someone, but then you could be like, oh, this could be something better out there for me. I just think it's ruined our whole culture. So, can we have some change in 2025, please?
Can we take a second to talk about dating in Amsterdam? I don't know if it's a big city issue or an Amsterdam actual issue, but dating in this city is not for the weak. Why are so many beautiful women, smart, whatever you want, struggling to find a partner in this city? I don't get it. And this whole thing with being exclusive, but not really in a relationship, not ready to commit, but always ready to hook up. What the fuck? And the dating apps are full of weirdos. Nobody takes anybody seriously. Like, it's so bad. How do people meet each other? How do people get into a healthy relationship in this city? I just don't understand.
Let's get something clear. It doesn't matter how smart, successful, or beautiful a woman is. There's always going to be a man out there who simply won't deal with her shit. The idea that a woman's accomplishments automatically make her desirable to men is a delusion that modern society keeps pushing. Women have been told that their degrees, careers, and financial independence should make them more attractive, but the reality is that men aren't looking for a competitor. And speaking of situationships, if women never engaged in them, they wouldn't even exist. Women are the ones allowing these toxic dudes access to their bodies, so I don't know why they're complaining, saying dating is hard for them. The reality is they're choosing these men again and again. They entertain men who clearly aren't looking for commitment, waste years in these dead-end relationships, and then turn around and blame men as a whole for their bad decisions. If they're so tired of being single, why don't they go for the good guys?
You know what's so freaking annoying is Hinge. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I actually just hate dating in general in this generation because it's
Freaking horse crap.
literally, if we match, be a
Freaking
man and say something. Like, say, hey, how are you? Why are you gonna match with me and do
freaking
with it? Like, I'm not gonna
freaking
to you. I'm so sick of being the masculine in the relationship bias, whatever you want to
freaking
call it, where you always have to reach out. I'm
freaking
over it. Like, I just want someone to freaking
let me be, like, in my feminine era. Like, why is that so
Breaking.
hard? Like, I don't want to, like, have to plan everything and have to, like, do everything first. Like, why can't I just find someone where it's like, I want to pursue you and, like, let's go on a date, let's do this, and, like, I'll plan it. Like, why is that so
Breaking.
hard? I'm gonna go for a walk.
Believe it or not, women have the option to start dating if they want to. Getting off the dating apps is the first step, and approaching a man in real life is the next. Many of them are frustrated with dating because nothing serious is clicking for them. Instead, they're on Hinge, swiping left and right, running into players and men who aren't looking for commitment. It's easy to get disillusioned when it feels like everyone on these apps is playing games, but the reality is they're not going to find something real if they continue playing the same game. The last time I checked, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. If you're stuck in the cycle of swiping, chatting briefly, and then dealing with disappointment, maybe it's time for a change in approach. What's mostly stopping these women from approaching men is their ego. And that same ego is keeping them single and frustrated.
You know what? In 2025, I'm going to start going for the hot guys. I'm going to start going for the guys that are just so far out of my league. It's inconceivable that we would ever live on the same planet. Here's the thing. I don't expect the guy out of my league to treat me super well. I don't expect a lot from that. I would fully expect that they're not going to be into me. And that we could go on a couple dates and they're going to be like, no, you're not good enough for me. Meets expectations. But when I go for someone who's like, oop, a little below me, and they still don't want to go out with me, or even worse, treat me like shit, I'm like, all right, that's below expectations. Because here's the thing, there's no way for a guy below me to exceed my expectations. It will only ever be a meet. If I go for someone really good looking and they're super nice to me and like me, that is an exceed. That is an A++++.
Men do not love nurturing, caring women. They will not take care of you. They will not reward you. You do not gain anything for going through hell with a man. You know what you get? You lose your hair and you get some deep wrinkles. Wrinkles. Thank you.
Are you truly nurturing and caring if you have an expectation out of him from it? And it's not that men don't love those qualities. They genuinely do. But there's a difference between nurturing and caring and being there for him and taking care of him and not having any boundaries and letting him walk all over you and not communicating your wants and needs out of the relationship. There is a balance to all of it. When you're a kind of a pushover and you let people just take from you and you don't have those limits, unfortunately you're more likely to attract people that will use and hurt you because those people can like sense it or something. I think some people get it wrong in relationships when they go into them giving everything and they think that, you know, they have reasonable expectations, but they don't bring them up because they're scared they're going to scare the other person away. If your expectations are reasonable, you're not going to scare away another person just by asking, just by bringing things up.
If a woman has to say she's nurturing and caring, she's probably not. Those actions aren't judged by what you say, but by what you do. Nurturing women are like unicorns. They're rare to find. It's easy to claim to be nurturing, but true nurturing isn't about just saying the right things. It's about showing up consistently for others, putting their needs first when necessary, and creating an environment of trust and care. She mentioned that men do not like nurturing women, but that's a lie. Men do value women who are nurturing because it creates a sense of emotional security. The idea that men don't reward nurturing women is also a lie. In fact, men are often drawn to women who nurture them because it builds a deeper emotional connection. They may not always show it immediately, but a man who feels truly cared for will reciprocate that energy in a meaningful way. The reward isn't necessarily something material, but it often manifests in the form of trust, loyalty, and a deeper bond.
There are two sayings or phrases that I live by now in the dating world in 2025. The first one is, would your husband do that? Would he treat you that way? Probably not. He's probably not the man for you. And number two is, if it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. Thank you.
I feel like such a dude right now because it took me over a year to realize how badly I fumbled the bag when dating this amazing man. Like, he was one of the sweetest, kindest, most genuine guys I've ever dated, and I threw him away like day old trash. And I'm just so disappointed in myself in how I conducted myself and how I behaved and how I treated him and made him feel taken advantage of. And I'm just disappointed in the way that I ended things so abruptly, so rudely.
Okay, so I have a theory in why dating isn't really working. And personally, I'll tell you why I have not dated and why I struggle to date is because I do everything for myself. I pay for everything for myself. Anything I want to do, I pay for it. I don't have any man pay for anything. So with that being said, after being single and taking care of myself all of these years, if you don't do way more than the bare minimum, why do I need you? I'm not a man. I don't need to release myself every day. So how are you making my life better? And the reason why is because they can't afford to. Inflation, honey, it ruined everything. Nobody has money to do shite. Especially date me.
I think a lot of women who immediately come with the entitlement that a man should bail them out of adulthood need to look up the word partnership. Because from what I see, all it seems to be about for them is, how can a man enhance their life? And often that's because they're tired of adulting. They want someone to come in and take the financial burden off their shoulders, handle the responsibilities, and make life easier for them. I don't know if she's bragging, but it sounds to me like she became the man she wanted to be in her life. She's taken on that same dominant, assertive, and often entitled attitude that many men get criticized for, and now she's expecting all the benefits without realizing the problem with her own approach. When you approach a relationship with that much entitlement, expecting a man to bend to your will, give you everything, it's hard to imagine any man would want to participate in that. What's the draw for him? Why would a man invest his time, energy, and emotions into someone who sees him as an accessory?
I really need to get taken out. Either on a date or by a sniper. Either one's fine with me.
So I'm planning to find my husband in 2025, and I asked ChatGPT for some help based on my ideal partner, what their ideal partner would want, and then what their ideal partner's daily schedule would be like. It's really less about like changing who I am as a person, because I actually think that I am a pretty good person. Like, I'm honest, I'm committed, I am ethical, like I am a good person. It's less about that and more about like the spiritual side of things, of becoming a better version of myself so I can attract the best version of a man for me. Even if it takes me like a year to meet this person, like maybe I'm not good, maybe I don't get married in 2025. Me wanting to be a better person, me wanting to do better so I can attract better, I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I also don't think it's a bad thing at 30 years old, after being single for over 7 years, I don't think it's a bad thing to intentionally think about wanting to find my life partner. I don't think that's a weird thing to do. Maybe if I was 20 years old and I just got out of a relationship a year ago, okay, maybe you slow down, live your life. If you know me, you know I'm always doing stuff by myself. But if you don't know me, take a look, because I'm always doing stuff by myself. I enjoy my own company. So anyways, I'm just ready for the next chapter of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, fellas, things are getting real. This woman wants a husband so badly that she's relying on AI to make it happen. I've got to say, it's a pretty creative idea, but at the same time, it just goes to show just how hard dating has become for women and how desperate they've become in trying to make it work. When you've got women turning to technology, outsourcing something as personal and emotional as relationships, it's clear that the dating game has shifted dramatically. It's not just about finding someone anymore. It's about how to find someone in a world where everything feels so disconnected. What's even more telling is how many women today are starting to give this idea a try to find their husband. The reality is that many women are getting to this point where they want to settle down, and that's a big change in a culture that often prioritizes independence and personal freedom. The question is, are these women willing to do the work to make that happen, or will the pursuit of perfection and unrealistic standards continue to get in the way?
I am so over the male species as a whole right now that, like, if you want to go on a date with me, get us a room on the strip at a resort. Get me a spa to the get me a pass to the spa for a nice massage, and then take me to Carbone. And if it's not that, I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm literally too pretty for this. I cannot do that.
I got tagged in this video and I almost didn't stitch it, but you guys want me to tell her. So here it is. Look, a man's gauge of attractiveness is impacted by what comes out of your mouth. So whether or not the men commenting on your video realize it, they are being impacted by what you are saying. Because men find entitlement to be so unattractive. The main reason for this is because men at a very young age are trained and conditioned to not be entitled. They have to work hard for what they have. So when that man is looking for a life partner, he needs somebody that helps him and supports him, not somebody that just demands more.
Too pretty, she says. Well, I'll just leave it at that. I don't know what beauty has to do with anything, but one thing's clear. Entitlement is not what a man is searching for in a woman. Listen to this woman carefully. She's describing a honeymoon, not a first date. It's as if she expects everything to be perfect from the get-go, like the man should already be treating her like a queen, without even building a real connection first. The reality is, looks can only get you so far. Sure, attraction is important, but it's not the foundation of a lasting relationship. Men are looking for qualities that go beyond physical beauty. When a woman enters the dating scene, expecting to be treated like royalty without putting in the effort to build something meaningful, it's a huge turn-off. The problem here is that she's equating beauty and entitlement with being worthy of a man's time, attention, and resources. What a joke.